Well, hello everybody. Welcome to TPG's world. It's me, TPG. It is a horribly humidity night, and it is the 14th of June. It is hot and sticky. You see by my windows how fogged up they are because of the humidity here. It's just been terrible. It was like 100 degrees today, and it's supposed to be like in 105 next week. So yeah, it's pretty bad. It would mean I have an air conditioner in my car, y'all. I'm about to die. So I'm gonna have to buy one of the fans that like plugs into my cigarette lighter. I gotta look for those online and find one, because child, I can't be taking all this heat. It's too much. But other than that, guys, I just wanted to say, hey, I wanted to do a quick vlog. I enjoy doing these vlogs on my way home. My therapist actually is encouraging me to get back more into YouTube because of my, she thinks the vlogging is actually rather good for me, which I agree. I love being able to vlog and being able to talk to you guys. I'm trying to talk loud as I can, guys, because I know that it's, my windows are not dirty, guys. I promise. That is the humidity on my windows. I'm trying to defog them now. See, I get so distracted, guys. Maybe my therapist wants me to start vlogging more and doing more stuff, so I'm trying to do that because it is actually therapeutic to talk to you guys and to be able to kind of share some things with you. So let me talk about a few things that have gone on in my life over the past couple of days. First of all, as you guys know, I still miss Charlie terribly. It's like it's awful how much I miss that little guy. I have a really bad thing with death. I don't handle death well. I don't think any of us really do in the world. It's not like I'm the only person that doesn't. And I think we all handle death in different ways. And my way of handling death a lot of times is to not think about it. You know, when I go to my parents' grave, it's where it really hits me and I cry and I get all emotional. So if I don't go, it doesn't make me think about it doesn't make me think about it as much. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think about my mom, my dad, my brother, and I think about Charlie every single day. There's not a day that goes by that I think, oh my God, I wish my mom was here. I want to share that with her. Like my dad, I have his dog that I'm taking care of for about another month. And I think about how much fun my dad had with him and how much, he loved this dog, and how, just how sweet this dog was and what the wonderful relationship that they had and things like that. So with that being said, it's like I miss him too, but if I don't think about it, it doesn't hurt as bad. I guess that's the word I'm trying to say. And that's something I'm trying to learn, is to process death and to process relationships more that are in the past and things to let go of, because it is a very hard thing to do. And I miss that little dog. Like Charlie and I had a bond, and I keep saying I'm gonna share you guys our story as soon as I can get it to where I can talk about it without like crying. I'm gonna share how I met Charlie and how I found this dog. But he was like the coolest, most wonderful dog. I love all of my dogs. I love all my fur babies. I love Waffles. I love Blue Ella DeVille. I love Gypsy. I love Oliver. I love my 2 cats. I love them all. They're all special to me, and I love them all. And I'm sure each one of their deaths is going to affect me. Big Mama's death, Buttercup, all of them affected me. But I don't think any of them will ever be Charlie. Like Charlie is just a special bond. My mother used to say before she passed that she never saw a dog look at a human with such love and admiration as Charlie did to me. And I just remember him giving me that look minutes before he had to be put down. And see, I can't talk about it, guys. I told you, putting a dog down was the hardest choice I ever made. And I don't know if I could ever make that choice again. I think, and I've been thinking a lot about this, and pass judgment on me, whatever. But I think had I have been not having to work at Target, I probably would have brought Charlie home and let him die at the house. He wasn't in a lot of pain. The vet didn't, said he could have gave him pain medicine to ease it and all that. Could have done that so that Charlie could have died at home, so he could have said goodbye to Gypsy and to Lulu and to Waffles and to the other dogs. But he was really sick. He was running a fever of 106 when I got there, and he was really, really bad off sick. So I knew I didn't want him to die without me there, or die alone, like with Gabe in the bed and me, nobody up, and he just die. I couldn't bear that, and I knew that I couldn't get out of Target from working. I knew that I just had this feeling in my stomach that if I take him home, he's going to die while I'm gone, and that is not what I wanted. So I did get to be there with him when he passed, but Gypsy is missing him horribly. Like, she misses Charlie. They were best friends. They were brother and sister as far as they were concerned. They were raised together. So she never got to say goodbye. So I don't think she quite understands where Charlie went to. Waffles, I'm having a lot of trouble. She's starting to get kind of vicious at times. And I'm so worried about it because she's attacking. She attacked Charlie. She attacked Gypsy. Like, she'll just bite. She gets jealous. But I'm worried about, I don't want to have to put her down. That's another thing. It's like, I don't want to have to put her down, but I'm worried that that's going to be her fate if she doesn't straighten up. I think it's just because she's jealous and she's always been around me. And she modeled after the pit bull so hard when I had that pit bull. I think that was the biggest mistake I ever made, was having that dog. Because she models herself after him so much. And I've just had a lot of problems. She had, she's gone after the cat, she's gone after Charlie, she went after Gypsy. And so I've been trying to kennel her some, like as a punishment and stuff, but I don't know what to do. If I think if I get rid of her and she turns out to be vicious, somebody can sue me or something. But if I take her to the pound, they'll put her down. And I've had Waffles since she was 3 seconds old. That's another tough choice to make, to put Waffles down, because Waffles has a very sweet side to her, but sometimes she'll just snap and that's it. And I don't know what it is about it, if it's a jealousy thing, if it's a domination thing, or what it is in her. But it's very sad, and it's getting kind of scary. Gypsy's had a lot of hardness in her life. She used to sneak out the gate all the time. One time she got caught on the siding and ripped the side of her skin. I had to have her, sewed back on. She got out that time and those dogs about tore her legs off, and I had to take her to the vet. And that was horrible. Luckily, my sister found her and was able to clean her up and get her situated. And then she left my sister's house out the back door, went and lived under my house for nearly a week and a half. Well, we couldn't get to her. We couldn't find her. She almost starved to death. She finally came out in desperation, almost starved. Got her back from that. And then that pit bull, Akita, that I had, Lexi, she attacked her again. And I remember taking her to the vet covered in blood. And so she's had a lot of attacks. And I think a lot of it is because she's sick, and they say they sense weaker dogs. I think, I remember the last time Waffles attacked her really bad, there was blood, and I was like, she hurt her ear, and there was blood. And I remember Charlie used to jump in and save her, and I remember he wasn't helping that night. He was just looked at me so helplessly. And I think it's because he was so sick. And I think Waffles attacked in the dark. I think when they bump into her, they scare her. Waffles is kind of skittish, and I think when they scare her, that's her first defense. So it was Waffles was put in her cage, and I spanked her and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't want Gypsy to spend the rest of her life being attacked, because I've had Gypsy a long time. And I've had Gypsy longer than I had Charlie. And Charlie, I didn't even think Charlie would go before Gypsy, to be honest. And Gypsy has kidney failure right now, so I'm having to give her special medication. I'm having to feed her special food. And, I give her dialysis every Wednesday and Saturday, so it's a lot of work. But I'll do it till the day she's gone from this earth, if it'll keep her here with me longer. The worst part about it, I think, was that because I was so focused on her, I never really saw a lot of the symptoms in Charlie. And that's, I hold that in my conscience as part of being guilty because of that, because she was so, he was so sick and I didn't see it because of, just how hard it is to, take care of her. But if I would have known he had cancer, I would have taken care of him just the same. I'd have taken care of both of them, So, anyway, back to Waffles thing. Y'all pray for it. I don't know if it's what it is, but I got a feeling that soon I'm going to have to get rid of Waffles. I just can't bear it in my soul for her to be put down for being vicious, but it may come to that, and I just, oh my gosh, I've cried about it so many times, because, Waffles is part of our YouTube group here. She's been with us forever, but since that pit bull came into the house 2 years ago, she's just did a complete turnaround, and I don't know how to get her to stop. And there's times I'll put her in her cage, and she'll just growl at me, and, and she just gets so angry, and her cage is like her calm down space. As soon as she gets mad, she'll go to her cage. And but if like a dog walks by it or the cat, she'll try to come after them because they walk past her house. And I don't know what it is, guys, and it's really got me frustrated. And I probably shouldn't talk about it in this video, but I wanted to share that with you guys. Jesus, this car's driving so slow in front of me. My God, I hope I am. Summer school is going along okay. It's been crazy, but let's talk about school. So as you guys know, I got moved to 4K next year, which is actually, at first I was a little mad about it, and I made a video talking about it, and I was gonna, leave and all this stuff. And I actually had an interview that I declined today for another school, and I have an interview coming up next week for the same school, for the same position, just a different classroom. But anyway, let me explain why I declined it first. First of all, it's a very snobby school, a lot of snobby people, very upper class, kids and people, and so they look kind of down on you. And I don't know if I want to work in that kind of environment. So yesterday, I had a lot on my heart, and I had not talked to my principal all year because I felt like she was on the side of the other people involved, and so I felt like I had been harassed in some ways and bullied and things like that. So I was like, you know what, I have to leave summer school right now and walk down to the principal's office, and me and her have to have a chat, because I was one step from I'm joining a teachers union that'll fight for things like discrimination and things like that, and it'll fight against all of that. And so I wanted to make sure that she knew about it, because she's a nice lady and she's a very good principal and she's very honest. So I didn't want to just spring it on her and go, hey, this is what's happening. So I decided I'm going to talk to her first. So I let her know everything, how I felt about every single situation, how I felt about the way I had been treated, about some of the things that were said to me. When she asked me why I didn't tell her before, I basically told her just what I said a minute ago, that I felt like she was on their side, that she wouldn't, listen fairly. I was very honest and just in the whole routine of how I do everything and just what I had to say. And it didn't bother me to be that way, because I felt 100% better. And she wants me to talk to these past two teachers and confront them and say stuff. But to me, I have to find a nice way to tell her this, but I don't think it's necessary anymore, because I'm no longer in that area with those teachers, and I really don't have to have a lot of contact with them. So I don't feel like bringing up more drama, because they're going to hold it against me because of what I had to say, and it's just going to create more tension and everything like that that's already there, because they believe I said something that I didn't say and things like that. And then there's been this big shake-up move. Everybody's been moved around and all this kind of stuff. So I think that it just, to me, would add more fuel to the fire. So I just kind of want to leave it alone and not really deal with it. That's honestly the best thing that I can say that I feel like I want to do. That's the best decision for me. Now, my principal has said, I'm going to follow up with you and things like that. And I think I'm just going to tell her that that's just how I feel. But I felt better being able to talk to her. Now, I think she does, I told her, she asked me how I 100% felt. And I said, at this very second, sitting in this very chair, I do not, this school constantly preaches it's a family. I said, I don't feel like part of a family. I don't feel connected. I have been treated like garbage by these people. I said, there's a bad clique in this group, and they are very bad, and they treat people horrible, and I don't feel like I'm part of it, and there's no reason I shouldn't be. I'm a nice person. I work hard. I love these kids unconditionally, and I love my coworkers. And because somebody lied and twisted things around, and I've learned that happens a lot. My biggest downfall, and I talk about this a lot in therapy, is I trust everyone, and I tend to vent when I'm angry. And one of the reasons for that is my therapist is like, instead of holding it in, vent to people, talk to people about how you feel, which is one of the reasons I originally had started this vlog, because I wanted to be able to discuss how I felt. But then I learned you got to be careful what you put out there, because people can misconstrue it and say it the wrong way. I just got put in Facebook jail, guys, for a day because I quoted something from Steel Magnolias, and then somebody asked me what it was I quoted, and I wrote it again, not thinking, and now I've been suspended for 3 days just because of something stupid. There was a quote from a movie. So you never know, like, what's going on out there, or what's put in writing, and this, that, and the other. So it's very crazy, but I don't have any hard feelings. And I told my principal, I don't want anyone to lose their job. I don't want anyone to get in trouble. I don't hold ill will. I just want you to know that for the past 3 years, I have not been treated the best way and the most professional way at all. And I feel that when I shared with her some of the examples of things that were said to me or done to me, she totally agreed that it was not professional and it should not have happened. She said that in my new classroom, if there's a problem, I'm supposed to come straight to her right away and talk to her. And I don't like confrontation. I don't like drama, but which is part of the reason also that I didn't say anything. I was basically told when I said something the first time that my feelings were not valid, it didn't matter. So I just kind of blew it off. But that's how I feel like she even sent me a text, my principal, saying, I really want you to do what we talked about. And, harassment is not something to take lightly. I have to do something about it. And I was like, that's what it blatantly is. But, it's kind of their word against mine too in that aspect. But with that being said, I'm not in there, so it's not like a big deal anymore to me. I think sometimes we just have to get things off our heart, and we have to say things. And I felt like to have a fresh start, I didn't know what she'd heard, what she knew, whatever. I had to give my side of the story because I have not been asked my side of the story by anybody. I had not been asked did you say this about me? Did you not say it? So I say it, I'll tell you I said it. I'm honest. And things like that. I had never been asked any of that. All of a sudden it was just, you said this, this, and this. You're manipulative. You're horrible. Da, 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 da. And I didn't say half of what was said was twisted around or misconstrued or something like that. Or someone else said it about someone else and turned around and said I said it. And that's the truth. So I'm being blamed by people for something I never really did. I'm not saying I didn't vent. Yes, I did. But I didn't say horrible, horrific things that I'm being accused of saying. And that's kind of pisses me off that these people wouldn't come. They kept saying to me, come to me if you have a problem. Don't go to the principal. Don't go here. Don't go there. But you couldn't simply come to me and say to me, hey, I heard you said such and such about me. Is this true? Let's talk about it. Why do you feel this way? That is exactly how I felt and how I wanted to be seen and be told. And so that's definitely a very harsh issue to deal with. So I don't know what the outcome of it's going to be. I'm probably going to wait and talk to my principal again later. She'll probably forget. Maybe I'm praying she'll forget about it. But I am joining this union just because if it continues, I will take it on. But I just felt like I couldn't blindside her because she is a good principal and she deserved to know at least something that was going on in her school. And especially if I started a case, I didn't want her to go, I didn't know anything about this. This was not brought to my attention, blah, blah, blah. Because the first thing that people in the investigator are going to ask me is, did you actually do this? And I'm like, so anyway, guys, I'm about to pull into my driveway. I love you guys. I will talk to you really soon. And remember, hating is a disease. Some folks need to get well soon. Always be the best version of yourself and be the person you want others to see you as, okay? I love you. Bye.